History does not pity the fool who chooses the wrong woman. That is the unspoken law every man eventually learns. But most learn it when it's already too late, standing over the grave of their own potential, wondering how the hell they let their kingdom fall without firing a single shot. You see, the world will never warn you. Your mother won't. Your friends can't. And society, it profits from your blindness. But Machiavelli knew. He knew that behind every destroyed man was not fate, not bad luck, not tragedy, but the wrong woman he foolishly let inside his life. And while the masses sell you dreams of loyalty, love, and happily ever after, Machiavelli whispers the truth. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. You're not here to be entertained. You're here to survive. And what I'm about to tell you, no one else will dare to say aloud. There are two types of women in the world, beneficial and destructive. That is it. No shades, no may. There is no gray area. You are either improving your life by choosing her, or slowly killing yourself by allowing her to stay. Here's the cruel reality. Most women today have mastered the art of appearing beneficial while actually being parasites in disguise. Yes, I mentioned it. You can sugarcoat it all you want, but it will not stop your life from crashing down around you if you make the wrong decision. This is not about hatred. This is not about warfare. This is about strategy. Machiavelli taught us that he who seeks to deceive will always find someone willing to be deceived. That person has always been a weak man who refuses to think before feeling. So this is your first commandment. Never choose based solely on appearance. Never. She may be the most beautiful woman you have ever seen, but if her mind is empty, her values are rotten, and her loyalty is for sale to the highest bidder, she is not a queen. You are looking at polished poison. Machiavelli stated, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you truly are." Are you listening? Few will ever dare to look beyond beauty, but the real man, the strategic man, looks deeper. He sees the woman's patterns, her choices, her loyalties, her respect for discipline, how she moves when no one is looking, how she speaks about people who are not there, how she treats waiters, family, and herself. Because men who lose everything almost always ignore these small signals. You do not just stumble into a beneficial woman. You select her, test her, and observe her like a general studies the terrain before battle. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool eventually does." Stop being the fool who waits until he is caught. You cannot complain later if you ignore the warnings now. Let me tell you the second commandment. Never choose a woman who disrespects masculine authority. Period. If she sees your strength as a threat rather than a source of comfort, leave. If she competes with your leadership rather than complements it, leave. If she challenges your vision but provides no wisdom, leave. Because a woman who does not respect masculine order will disrupt your life with feminine chaos. This is how kings fall. This is how legacies end. You are not here to save her. You are not here to fix her. You are here to build. Building necessitates collaboration, not opposition. Machiavelli warned that men who fail to secure their power will eventually become slaves to the very forces they attempted to tame. You believe you can handle her drama. You think you can handle her disrespect. You believe that love will fix it. No, it will not. Because she knows something that you don't. You have already chosen her, and now she wields the power you handed over as a fool. Power is never negotiable in a relationship. You either have it or you lose it. In their desperate desire to be loved, most men give up their power in the form of velvet words like compromise, understanding, and partnership. Noble words and beautiful lies. Machiavelli was ruthless in revealing this fantasy. If you must choose between the two, being feared is far safer than being loved. Do you hear that? If you have to choose, remember that in the real world, love without respect is like slavery with a smile. And the man who allows a woman to rule him in the name of peace is no different than the puppet king, who wears a tin crown while his kingdom decays behind closed doors. If you want to know who she truly is, watch her reaction to your boundaries. Tell her no. Watch how she reacts. Restrict her access to your time, money, and attention. Listen for the silence that follows. Will she respect your distance? Will she manipulate you back with tears, guilt, and empty promises? Empty. Most women today have been conditioned by a weak society to believe that men exist to satisfy their insatiable emotional appetites. And most men who want to keep the peace serve on their knees. But you are not like most men, not after this. The third commandment is this: observe how she handles boredom, because every woman behaves best when she is entertained, receives gifts, and is the center of attention. But boredom is where true character emerges. Is she able to create value through silence? Or does she seek out chaos to feel alive? Does she sit patiently, or does she start petty fights just to feel important again? Because a woman who cannot control her emotions in boredom will ruin your life when the real trials begin. You want a woman who brings peace, not a ticking time bomb that detonates whenever reality becomes quiet. Then there is the lie you have been told all your life, that a high body count is irrelevant, that her past is none of your concern, that you are insecure because you care. Machiavelli would laugh at you. The promise made was a necessity from the past. The word broken is a necessity in the present. Men today have been misled into believing that a woman's past has no bearing on her loyalty. But history is your only predictor. A woman who has betrayed others before you is not starting over with you. She is sharpening her knife while you are looking the other way. Keep an eye on her past because it speaks volumes about your future. The fourth commandment is to never invest in a woman who does not share your values. You are a man with a vision. At the very least, you should be. A man with a vision does not marry for lust. He agrees with the mission. Your mission. If she mocks your discipline, dismisses your ambition, or is more concerned with social media than your legacy, leave. I do not care if she looks good in a dress. I do not care how sweet she sounds when she is requesting something. Because this is the truth you refuse to accept. The wrong woman will ruin your destiny. And no amount of pleasure is worth the loss of your potential. Finally, here is the commandment. Nobody wants to hear, but everyone has to obey. If she does not fear losing you, she will never truly appreciate you. This is the coldest law of all. The woman who believes you will always be present. No matter how much she disrespects you or how much she stops adding value, that woman will eventually come to despise you. Why? Because something that costs nothing is worthless. And Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. Men should be caressed or crushed. Women by nature will treat you in the same way. If she cannot let you go, she will crush you. If she is afraid of losing you, she will rise to meet you. Men that are feared are not cruel. They are respected because their absence is meaningful. Stop being so available. Stop rewarding bad behavior with increased attention. Stop asking for scraps when you should be commanding loyalty. The man who is willing to walk away has the power, always has, and always will. These truths are easy to preach. It is much more difficult to live them because you must first kill the fool inside yourself. The romantic fool, the desperate fool, the boy who believes that love alone can change a woman's nature. You have been trained to believe that your sincerity will save you, that your loyalty will change her, and that your devotion will compel her to stay. It will not. This explains why so many men are broken today, not by women, but by their own assumptions about women. Machiavelli was merciless toward men who refused to face reality. Men are motivated by two main impulses, whether through love or fear. And make no mistake, fear is more powerful than love. Always has and always will. The woman you cannot get away from is the one who owns you, and she knows it. Observe how a woman treats the man she knows she may lose. Her tone softens. Her loyalty strengthens. Her chaos diminishes. But the man who makes himself constantly available receives the opposite. She becomes colder. She gets bolder. She tests him not because she is evil, but because female nature will not trust something it does not respect. And a man who refuses to defend his worth is not a man to follow. Let me explain it more clearly than ever before. The most dangerous woman in a man's life is one who sees him as an emotional provider rather than a leader. You believe she loves you because she vents to you, cries on your shoulder, and tells you about her fears. But pay attention. Does she follow your advice? Does she follow your leadership? Does she rise when you raise the bar? If not, you are not her king. You are her emotional trash can, and she will use you until she finds a man she can respect. Do you think that is harsh? Good. Let it burn. Because the pain you are experiencing right now is what will awaken you. You see, most men attempt to negotiate respect. They attempt to earn it by doing more, bending further, and shrinking themselves. Fools. Machiavelli warned us. He who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. And you have deceived yourself long enough. Respect is never negotiated, it is commanded. And if you have to beg for it, you have already lost it. So how do you command it? By living as if you are willing to lose her at any moment. Because the man who fears loss becomes her servant, while the man who embraces loss becomes her obsession. She will test you. She will push you. She will try to see if you are all bark and no bite. You must bite, walk, and disappear, not to punish her, but to remind her that you are a man who values himself more than she fears her absence. Here's the most overlooked step of all. Observe her relationship with other men, not just her exes or male friends. Consider how she speaks about men in general. Does she admire or mock masculine strength? Does she praise her father, brothers, and mentors? Or does she harbor bitterness, resentment, and sarcasm toward men who have led before you? Because here's the truth. A woman who secretly despises men will never fully submit to you. Machiavelli stated, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity in the present. Her words are meaningless if her patterns are not consistent. Do not marry potential. Do not believe in empty promises. Invest in patterns. If her life before you was chaotic, it will not suddenly become peaceful with you. If her habits were lax before you, they will not suddenly become disciplined with you. You are not an exception. Ignoring what is right in front of you will make you the next fool." Let me explain why most men ignore all of this. Because you secretly want to believe you are the one who can change her. You believe your love is special. You believe your patience will finally break the code. You believe that if you stay long enough, she will eventually wake up and realize you are the prize. She will not. You are not her father. You are not her therapist. You are not her God. You are a man, and man's time is his life. Every minute you spend attempting to reform a woman who refuses to change is a minute you lose from your future self. Machiavelli expressed it best. The wise man does everything right away, while the fool does everything later. And every second you put off ending your relationship with the wrong woman, you are acting foolishly. Here's something you will not hear on any motivational video. There is no woman on earth who serves your purpose, not one. Your purpose is your mission, discipline, and kingdom. A woman can be either an asset or a liability for that purpose. And most men turn this equation upside down. They make the woman the center, the reason they get up in the morning. And when she realizes this, she loses all respect for him. Why? Because women do not trust the men who surround them. Women trust men who are completely focused on their mission. This explains why a woman who disrespects one man will worship another. The difference is not the woman. The difference is the man's build. So, here's your next brutal lesson. Never choose a woman who is unable to thrive without you. Do you want to know who she really is? Take a step back. Observe how she lives without you. Does she collapse into chaos, or does she become more disciplined? The woman who requires constant attention, validation, and babysitting will kill you. But the woman who multiplies in your absence, who holds the line when you are away, and who upholds the mission even when you are not looking, is a woman worth keeping. Machiavelli warned that if you cannot be both, it is best to be feared than loved. In a relationship, this means one thing. You must be willing to make her uncomfortable for the sake of your standards. If she crosses a line, you call it out right away. If she abuses your time, you withdraw it. If she tests your strength, you show her the door. Not because you are cruel, but because you are a man who defends the empire you are constructing. Bend once, and you will bend forever. She understands this. Here is the next commandment. Choose a woman who will strengthen rather than weaken your discipline. A woman who encourages your laziness, tempts you to skip the gym, and laughs when you reject distractions. That woman is preparing you for failure. She may smile while doing so. She may call it love, but it is treason. Because a real woman, a beneficial woman, is an ally in discipline. She sharpens you. She pushes you to reach higher. She holds you to your word. She does not beg you to remain soft. She challenges you to stay sharp. Let me say something to the man who is already trapped. It is not too late for the man who is listening right now and thinking, but I have already chosen wrong. However, it will cost you everything you have built on that mistake. Your pride, your time, and possibly even your money. But ask yourself this: which is more expensive, leaving now or dying slowly over the next 20 years? Because make no mistake, the wrong woman will drain you until nothing remains. And if you are empty, she will leave anyway. Because nature has no sympathy for those who refuse to lead themselves. Machiavelli understood that people value what they fear losing. And if she does not fear losing you, you have already demonstrated that you lack a spine. But that is changing today. You are not here to be a footnote to her story. You are here to build a kingdom. And the woman you let in will either strengthen or destroy the kingdom you built. The issue with most modern men is not a lack of strength. They have been trained to believe that their weakness is compassion, that ignoring everything is tolerance, and that enduring disrespect is love. But Machiavelli stripped this delusion to its bare truth. A prince who lacks wisdom cannot be wisely advised. What exactly does this mean? Meaning that if you are weak, you will always attract voices that reinforce your weakness. This explains why men with no standards seem to attract the most chaotic women. You thought you were simply unlucky. You thought you kept meeting the wrong people. No, you did not. You invited them inside. You allowed them to stay. You chose them because your weakness drew them in like a flame to moths. And you are here listening to this because you are beginning to wake up. Let me hit you with something that may offend you, but it must be said. You are exactly where you should be. Whatever woman you have in your life right now, whether she is a blessing or a curse, you chose her, perhaps through carelessness, desperation, or boredom, but you made the decision. And until you confront the brutal truth like a man, you will keep repeating the cycle, blaming women, society, and bad luck. Enough. Take ownership. Because Machiavelli's lessons are only applicable to men who are willing to stop playing the victim. This is what most men do. They simply wait for a perfect woman to show up. They do nothing to increase their own value. They do nothing to improve their judgment. They float through life hoping to feel when it is right. But feelings are deceitful. Women have mastered the art of eliciting the emotions you desire: validation, comfort, and intimacy. But here's the ultimate rule. And if you forget everything else, remember this. Men generally judge with their eyes rather than their hands. Everyone can see something, but only a few can understand it. You have eyes, but do you have any insight? Do you have the courage to sit across from a stunning woman and see through the act? Do you have the fortitude to walk away when your body begs to stay? Because real men choose according to wisdom, not hunger. Based on alignment, not addiction. Based on long-term strategy rather than short-term lust. This is the final commandment. Test her loyalty in your absence before putting your trust in her. When you are watching, any woman can act appropriately. The true test is who she becomes when you are not around. Does she keep your name clean when you are not present? Does she reject other men's advances without your intervention? Does she follow your standards even if there is no reward for doing so? Or does she drift when your back is turned? Because the woman who cannot be trusted when you are not around is the same woman who will betray you when you are most vulnerable. Do not apologize for setting high expectations. Do not apologize for leaving when she fails to meet them. You are not here to settle. You are not here to gamble with your future. You are here to build. And if she cannot build alongside you, she will tear you down. Not because she is evil, but because this is the natural law. Machiavelli advised rulers to fortify their cities, secure their gates, and monitor their borders. Why? Because kingdoms crumble when outsiders gain unrestricted access to what should be protected, and you, my brother, are the kingdom. Your time, energy, resources, and purpose form your fortress. Guard them as if your life depended on it, because it does. Now you must understand the final game being played against you, the illusion of endless possibilities. Modern society has sold you a lie. Women are everywhere and you should keep swiping, chasing, and lowering your standards because another one is always coming. But Machiavelli knew better. Men would rather forget their father's death than lose their inheritance. And nothing depletes a man's mental, spiritual, and financial resources faster than pursuing women who bring nothing but debt. The truth is this: most women today are not worthy of selection. You know it deep down. You feel it. You see it. Every time you open your phone, you see women competing for likes rather than legacy. Women perform for strangers while refusing to be a worthy partner to a man on a mission. Yet you keep telling yourself to settle, compromise, and tolerate. Why? Because you are afraid to be alone. But here's the final blow you must take. Better to be alone than with the wrong woman. Because the wrong woman will do more than simply waste your time. She will take away everything that defines you as a man: your edge, clarity, and purpose. Look around. Consider the men you once admired, who fell into the arms of a woman who never truly valued them. Look at their tired, drained, and silent faces. That is your future if you disregard this message. That is where you end up if you compromise your principles for comfort. Because, while you are entertaining the wrong woman, the right one is walking by, watching you degrade yourself, lower your standards, and sell your future for nothing more than fleeting attention. You must become a man who is willing to endure the loneliness of waiting for the right woman, rather than giving in to the convenience of the wrong one. Machiavelli taught rulers to forego the easy path for the path of power. The end justifies the means, and for you, that end is your legacy, peace, and purpose. The means: ruthless, disciplined selection, because every woman you allow in your life either sharpens or dulls your sword. There is no neutral woman. There is no harmless option. The woman you choose will either multiply your happiness or your misery. She will either add fuel to your fire or drain every drop of your ambition. She will either defend you like a fortress or tear you apart like a silent enemy within your walls. This is not paranoia. This is the historical reality. Kings have fallen not to armies but to the woman they trusted the most. Great men have been reduced to nothingness. Not by their adversaries, but by the woman they welcomed into their bed, mind, and kingdom. Let me tell you about the brutal irony. The woman you did not choose wisely will be the one you spend your life explaining to others. You will tell your friends that you did not know. You will tell your family what just happened. You will tell yourself it was not too bad. But deep down you will know. You will know you have seen the signs. You will know you heard this message but ignored it. And when your kingdom burns down, no one will come to put it out because no one can save a man from his own cowardice. Machiavelli did not write for men looking to be liked. He wrote for men who wished to win. And if you truly want to win, if you truly want to create a life worth defending, you must make decisions like a ruler, not a fool. You must test like a king, not as a beggar. You must be ready to walk away. Not because you are cold, but because your mission is too big. Your purpose is too important and your time is too limited to waste on someone who does not multiply what you are creating. And now you stand on the verge of making a decision that will define you not only as a man, but also as a legacy builder, or the next forgotten victim of weakness. You have heard the warnings. You could feel the truth burning inside your chest. You are certain that how you choose the woman beside you will determine your future. Not tomorrow or next year, but right now. Because the moment you lower your standards, ignore what you have heard tonight, and prioritize entertainment over alignment, you set the timer for your own demise. I am not here to comfort you. I am here to wake you up. Because comfort is what brought you here. Comfort caused you to tolerate what should have been unacceptable. Comfort has turned kings into beggars, warriors into servants, and visionaries into forgotten men who tell themselves things will get better, despite knowing deep down they won't. Not with her, not with that type of woman. And here's the final law you must memorize. You do not succeed by being lucky with women. You rise by being ruthless about your standards. The world will not praise you for this. You will not be celebrated. You will be mocked. They will call you harsh. They will call you cruel. However, the man who stands alone in his peace is wealthier than the man who stands surrounded by chaos disguised as love. Make your choice. If this message hit you in the chest, if something inside you shifted, If you finally understand what no one else dared to say, do not scroll away. Take action. I like this video right now. Share it with the men you care about. You know they need to hear it as well. Subscribe to this channel for more brutal, unapologetic truth that you will not find anywhere else. And if you believe in this mission and want to help spread the message to men around the world who are still sleeping, please support the channel using the link in the description, because this is more than just content. This is a movement. This is a war for the future of mankind. Those who refuse to wake up will be the ones telling stories about what they have lost. They will not be able to touch your life as you build it. Make your choice now.